Persuasion and negotiation. We want to look at another topic: persuasion and negotiation. Persuasion and negotiation. So persuasion is an act. Persuasion is an act or process of presenting argument to move, to motivate, or change your audience. Persuasion, when you talk about persuasion, what does that mean? You are trying to convince someone to accept your opinion, a conviction of an acceptance of an opinion. So that is what we refer to as persuasion. Aristotle thought that rhetoric Aristotle thought that rhetoric, or the art of public speaking, involves the faculty of observing in any given case the available means of persuasion. The available means of persuasion. This was a theory that was propounded by this man, Covino W.A. and Joseph D.A. in 1995. And then he talks about the concept, the definition, and the boundaries of persuasions. We can access that from the book of Boston Hemi. Boston Hemi, of course, it has been a long book that was first published in 1972 thereabout. So, in the case of President Obama, he may have appealed to your sense of study and national values. In persuading your parent to lend you the car keys, you may have asked one parent instead of the other, calculating the probable response of each parent and electing to approach the one who was more likely to adopt your position. So I will explain. Persuasion can be implicit or explicit and can have both positive and negative effects. In this chapter, we are going to discuss the importance of ethics, as we have in previous chapters, when presenting your audience with arguments in order to motivate them to adopt your view, consider your point, or change their behavior. So we are just doing here was just to give a case study of you trying to get something from your parents. Of course, when you want to get something as a female child, most times when you want to get something from your parents, you are more likely to go through your mom, believing that that your mom will understand your perspective, and then she will likely understand the angle from which you are coming from, unlike your dad that might not seem to reason with you as a lady. So you are more likely to be able to persuade your mom to be able to get whatever you want to get from your dad through your mom. So, and that is persuasion. You being able to convince your mom that you truly need what you need. It might be in the positive heart and it might be in the negative heart. So the negative heart can come in a situation where you are trying to convince someone, you are trying to give someone a good reason why something bad should be done. You are trying to give someone a good reason why something bad should be done. Say, I beg, who holy? Nobody is holy, so we can just do whatever we want to do. So, and that is trying to convince somebody to do. You know that telling lie is not good, for instance, and you are not trying to tell somebody to tell lie, and with the justification that nobody is holy, that it is only God that is holy. That is persuasion. You are trying to make the person see the reason why the person should do something that is bad, and that is what we call persuasion. That's why I said it could be in the positive act for you to get what you want, and it could be in the negative act, whichever way it is. So under persuasion, it goes, but for business line now, in business case, when you are talking about an organization, persuasion and negotiation goes hand in hand. Persuasion and negotiation, they are contrasting each other in the sense that persuasion comes from the aspect of the seller, while negotiation comes from the aspect of the buyer. Of course, both buyers and seller will have to negotiate, but what I'm just trying to say in essence is that the persuasion and negotiation, they go hand in hand. You cannot take persuasion without talking about negotiation. You cannot A seller cannot persuade a customer to buy an item without the customer also negotiating price, telling the seller that, okay, what if we pay this amount of money? We feel that this amount of money is too much, and that is where negotiation comes into play. And of course, the seller definitely persuade the buyer to see reasons why they should buy that particular item. So that was why I said persuasion and negotiation definitely they go hand in hand with each other. So let's move. What is negotiation? We've talked about the relationship between persuasion and negotiation. What is negotiation? Negotiation is a dialogue between two or more parties with the intention of reaching a mutually beneficial outcome or resolving a conflict. In negotiation, each party will try to persuade the other one to agree with his or her point of view. I've said that before. The goal the goal is to avoid arguments and disputes and reach some form of compromise between parties. Negotiation is applied in many aspects of everyday life, even though you may not realize it. Some examples in normal everyday life include negotiating a price at an open market, negotiating a car purchase at a dealership, negotiating compensation for a job, and negotiations between warring countries. Yeah, so we see that negotiation, it happens in various forms, and we see that when you talk about negotiation, you can look at it in various dimensions and in various perspectives. So, and the view we are just looking at it this afternoon is from the view of an organization, trying to look at it from the perspective of an organization. When you want to look at it that between a buyer and a seller, when you want to look at it from the angle of between the buyer and the seller, when you want to look at it from the angle of, say, somebody trying to negotiate for the price of an item, and so on and so forth. So we see that negotiation come into play, and it comes hand in hand with persuasion. So let's see, how does negotiation works? How does negotiation works? How does negotiation works? As mentioned, negotiations are a way of settling differences. The key to a successful one is to arrive at the outcome that you want without creating any animosity. Negotiation, both in informal or formal forms, follow the same general process. So when you talk about negotiation, four things are involved, and it is important that we understand this concept, because these are the things that come in play when you talk about negotiation, and there is no way you can talk about negotiation without making mention of this important fact. Number one is that in the process of negotiation, number one, discussion must be involved. We have to discuss. We are still going to look at all these concepts one after the other before we go to the next topic. Discussion must be involved, clarification must be involved, negotiating an outcome must be involved, and agreement. I mean, this is the sole aim. Agreement must definitely be involved. The essence of negotiating is to come to an agreed price, is to come to what we call a consensus. A consensus. When we negotiate, the reason why we are negotiating, the reason why we are trying to bargain for a price, is so that we can meet at a junction. It's so that we can agree at a price. It's so that we can come to a reasonable conclusion about an item. So before starting a negotiation, it is important to assess not only what you are seeking out of the negotiation, but you must also keep in mind what the other party is seeking as well. Only by understanding each other's desire can you cope with to fulfill both parties' needs in a win-win scenario. So if you only seek a scenario where only you get what you want, but the other party is at disadvantage, you will create hostility and are less likely to end up getting the outcome you so desire. I mean, when you are negotiating, like I said when I started the discussion, that negotiation is not just about you. Negotiation goes hand in hand with both you and the person that you are trying to deal with. So it is not just a one man decision. Negotiation is not just a decision that somebody can just make. It's a decision that has to come with the consent of both parties. In the case, I use the case of buyer and seller. That is, negotiation must come from the aspect of the person that is buying and of the person that is selling. So both of them must be able to agree. They must be able to meet at the middle, at the decision stand, where both of them can say that, okay, I think this is fine by me, and I think I can. The other person can also say, I think, and I can also afford this in order to have a mutual discussion. So let's see the first one, which is the discussion phase. The discussion stage of the negotiation is crucial to getting a better understanding of what the other party is looking for. You want to ensure that you are listening, questioning, and clarifying what the other party has brought forth. It is equally important to communicate what you are looking for. However, you do not want to make the mistake of saying too much and giving away too much information. Of course, negotiation, the discussion phase is more or less like a psychology stage. So we are trying to look at it, okay, what does this man really want? What is his view? What is he trying to drive at? What is his own perception? What is he trying to say? So discussion phase is the point where you know what the other party really wants. It is a point where you try to listen. It's a point where you try to question his opinion, and it's a point where you try to get his view. You try to get his view of the matter. Okay, what do you really want, sir? What are you really looking at? So is a point where you receive information from the other party about the matter to be negotiated. So after that one, after the discussion phase has gone, we have what we call the clarification phase. So the clarification stage is simply to ensure that both parties have identified and established a common ground on which to start their negotiation. Misunderstanding should be minimized as much as possible. Misunderstanding should be minimized as much as possible. Clarification stage is now a stage where you now try to explain what the other party, what is obtainable. It's the point where you now try to explain what is obtainable to the other party. Let the other party know that, okay, this thing that he or she is asking for, if it's something that can be granted, let him know. And if it's something that cannot be granted, of course, you try to explain why it might not be possible for you to go that far. Then the next stage talks about the negotiation phase. The negotiation phase is a win-win. A win-win outcome is the best outcome. Sometimes it may not be possible, but it should be what both parties are striving for. Alternative strategies and compromises should be made in the negotiation phase. You should avoid lengthy negotiations, and compromising may be necessary. So what we mean by compromising here is just basically dancing to the tune of the other partner. So because by the time when you are negotiating, you have to understand that you cannot have 100% of what you are looking for, and the other party must also understand that he also cannot have 100% of what he is looking for. So that means at some point or the other, both of you must agree at a stand. Both of you must be able to say, okay, this is what I think can fly. The other person can also must say that this is what he or she also thinks can fly. Then both of you can now come to an agreement, an addendum, to say that, okay, I think we can do this, and then both of you can move on. Because like I said, negotiation has more to do with sacrifice. So both parties must be willing to sacrifice one thing or the other. So lastly is the agreement phase. The agreement phase. So each party should keep an open mind so that the best solution can be achieved for all parties. Agreement should be clear to all parties without ambiguity. Agreement should be clear to all parties without ambiguity. So basically that is the concept of negotiation and persuasion. And like I said, that both of them goes hand in hand. When you are negotiating, it also comes with persuading. So you are as the seller is persuading the buyer to see reasons why he should buy. The negotiating part also comes from the buyer telling the seller, okay, not that I don't want to buy this thing, but this is how much I can afford to pay for this particular services or product. Then both of them now come to the middle to agree on what is obtainable, on the level of sacrifice that can be made by either of the party.